there, all you cool cats and crazy critters out there, and welcome back to Let's Play RimWorld. So, today is an awesome, super cool day, as you might be able to tell by looking at that teeny tiny weeny little number up there. Alpha 3 just released relatively recently. And that does mean, of course, that we're going to have to start off a new save with a new colony. But the good thing is because with changes to this new update, there's actually going to be a lot of reasons why I would want us to start over from the beginning. So let's go ahead and go with Cassandra Classic once again. And before I start getting into all the new stuff that's been added, let's just actually go ahead and work with building selecting all of our colony members first. So this guy is incapable of being artistic or doing plant work, which would be fine. This guy could be our main constructor, which would be really nice, and of course, it could do mining as well. So I think I think Mr. Weetles here might actually be a nice person to have. Always cool to have a technician, but we definitely want someone who's really good at shooting as well, and no one seems to be all that good, although Weetles might be considered okay. I mean, he's only level 5, but he is a little bit passionate about it, so I don't know. If we do get rid of anyone, I think it would have to be this guy Lester right here. He is really good at mining, but as I was saying, I think we would have Weedles be our main miner, and maybe this person could be our plant grower? I mean, not very good at plant growing at all, not even passionate about it, so that might not be a good idea, but that would also be really good as a research alternative, to get the research done really fast, and, she's got a passion for shooting, not great, so she wouldn't be able to grow really quickly, but I kind of think this person is really good, especially since she's only incapable of being scary, so I think, Kessa is a good person for us to take. Let's go ahead and, flip through this person then and try to find a good plant grower. Maybe someone who's also really good at shooting as well. This might be fine. Incapable of nothing except for being scary, so shooting is 3. So our colony isn't going to be all that strong in the combat perspective, but I think this might be okay. And this guy has Poopy in his name. His nickname is Poopy, so how could we possibly say no? Let's go ahead and generate this colony. So one interesting thing, hopefully we'll be able to see some of the initial changes right here, but one of the things that has been changed is that the map generation has been altered a bit. I don't know how exactly, but basically the way that it like, oh! You guys hear that little cool guitar beat right there? I'll actually get to talking about that in a minute. Apparently we're gonna get a lot of that. That's pretty damn cool. Also little arrows popping up there. That's cool as well. So it gives you a little, the game is giving you, they moved the like, information this needs to be done bar down a little bit. That's interesting. So now it's gonna be closer to the letters, I suppose. But, first things first, the map generation has been altered. I don't know how exactly it's been altered. Nice to see that we got Steam Geyser right there. That's pretty damn cool. But there are now ancient ruins, as you can see right here, that pop up on the map. So it's just cool for a number of means, because, you know, this gives us a little bit of flavor for the land. Shows us that we are actually not the first species to be here. And, obviously, certainly, we're not going to be the last, so it adds a little bit more depth to this map and whole world that we, of course, are spending so much time in, through our journey through this, on this RimWorld of a planet. But, of course, another thing that has been added is that, let me look through my notes to find the name, Alistair or Alistar? I don't know how to pronounce the name exactly, and I apologize for that. But, Alistair Lindsay's music has been added to the game, and that is the person who, was one of the stretch goals for RimWorld, like a composer who has worked on a number of things in the past. I don't remember what exactly, and I do apologize for that, but yeah, like, it's, the game, for the first time in this update, the game actually has its full-on composer's work in it, so that's gonna be really cool, and of course, hopefully that's going to add a lot to the kind of atmosphere of the game and all that jazz. We have so many steam geysers on this map, holy cow! we are really gonna need to think of where we want to build. I still think this might be a nice spot because we have this, all of that to mine out. We still have our main home base of like mining materials to mine out. Then we can also kind of dig our way into the wall and maybe use this area to kind of work as a wall as well for just for the time being. We'll obviously mine all that out later. But of course, let's not just jump ahead of ourselves in regards to considering all of our options. It would be pretty cool to build like a civilization build our base near some of the ancient ruins, but I also don't think there's too much of a point to that unless we were to build it like around this one, because otherwise, unless it's like a nice clear open room that we could get a lot of stuff working in, like this one, otherwise there wouldn't be too much of a point. Like, look at this. This is just occupying worthless space. It would be more of a hassle to make this worthwhile to us than to do anything else. So I think we might... This would also probably be a lovely spot, but... And there is a lot of metal. There's all that metal right there, that metal right there. We're close to the edge of the map, which is always pretty cool. I think, though, we're still going to maybe go ahead with plopping ourselves right here. I think that might be the best idea. So let's go ahead and get our colonists to start working on all of that stuff. Wheats was the one who was best equipped with a gun, and this is going to show you guys another really cool thing. Apparently we don't see it right now. Okay, there we go. If we draft him, you can actually see the person pull out their weapons now, which is obviously a very small and subtle change to the game, but also a really cool one to say nonetheless. Like, doesn't Wheats or Weedles look really badass with that Lee Enfield in hand? I don't know about you guys, but I think he looks frickin' awesome like that. Oh, apparently these things have been edited a little bit more. Nice to know that they're chilling on the bottom now, but in all honesty, I may have preferred it the way it was before, when it's grouped up, like occupying that whole space. But I don't know, obviously this will be a thing to adjust to in the future. Now we've got simple doors, apparently. Seals rooms apart must be manually opened and closed, which slows people down. Oh god, power doors are really expensive now. That sucks. Okay, I guess we're gonna be working with a lot of simple doors for the most part. That's a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll just have to work with that, obviously. But first off, let's go ahead and start canceling our zones. Delete zones, we'll get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and we'll figure out where to put those very, very shortly. First off, let's go ahead and start setting up how we want our house to be built. And of course, do it with our there metal walls or something like that. Actually, do we want to build that far out yet? I don't think so. I think we want to get started with that geothermal generator. Let's go ahead and get that thing built right away. I don't know why, but it's been a while since I've started a new colony, so I'm feeling like I might be a little bit rusty in that regard, to be completely honest here. So we'll completely close that room off. That's 2 spaces right there, so that one could go up like that. And then, of course, we could put a simple door on each end. I forgot how awkward the placement is for these doors. That's unfortunate, but it'll be okay. Put a door on each end. Have it chill like a ville like that. Is that the... No, that's 3 spaces. I messed up. Almost made things look really, really silly Billy Papa Chili. So let's go ahead and cancel all of that and move it just a little bit lower down. Oh, whoops, I accidentally unpaused the game. And I don't want... Oh, God, stop my main man. Weedles, I don't want you building construction work right there. Nice to know that he still picked up the block and moved it over. So let's see, we need to set up our overview for all of our people. We only have 1 person who's capable of firefighting. That is really bad. Hopefully we won't get any fires early on. That is my fault. I really should have thought of that, but clearly I didn't. Who's gonna be our artist? We have a 3 and another 3. We should probably check between Kessa and Poopy to see which one of them is more capable. Character, of course. Artist has no passion. No passion either. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one of those 2 we make the artist. So let's go ahead and, Actually, we need to check who will be our grower as well. If I remember correctly, no one had passion for mining. Oh, I'm wrong. Kessa 100% does. But what about growing? Not growing. Okay, good. So, and Poopy has a passion for growing, so he's gonna be our man with a plan in that regard. So Kessa will be our miner. Where is Kessa? Kessa's the bottom one. And Poopy, you could go ahead and be the grower. That's right. Our miner is also our researcher, which is pretty okay. I think I'm happy with that. We'll go ahead and have the crafter like that. We only need one crafter, we only need one artist, and then everyone else can also work on those. Oh, there's actually a slot for hunting now. That's interesting. We'll go ahead and mark... No. Actually, yeah, we'll mark everyone for hunting, but once we go into our manual settings, we won't make that very high. We'll go ahead and make Kessa... would probably make more sense to have Poopy as our cook. Although I would never in my entire life, would I want someone named Poopy to be my chef. Like, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Social skills. We need to check everyone's socials. Looks like Kessa. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Kessa is going to be a very busy lady for the most part, which means we'll definitely want to get a new colonist in our squad before too long, but I think that's going to be a pretty good setup. So that can be 1, doctoring can be a 3 since we don't ever use it. Let's work on individual people. Cooking will be 2, hauling can be a 2. Hauling will be 2 for everyone except for Weedles. I think that should be perfectly fine. Then everyone can be construction 2, repairing 2. Except for Weedles, we'll make him construction 1. Hauling 2 for everyone else. We just got a lot of 2s all over the place, basically. And crafting 1. Mining. Ooh, what is art, actually? I thought art was the same thing as crafting before. They've been separated now, if they weren't before. I might just be remembering it completely wrong, but... I'm pretty sure they were their own separate things before this, but who knows? I might just be a complete ding-dong about everything. So let's get started with our construction and all that jazz. We've probably waited way too long before actually getting things moving at this point. And continue to talk about all the new updates and all that jazz to the game, because there are indeed a hell of a lot of them. I don't think we could pull up the fractions menu. I mean, not fractions. What am I talking about? The factions menu right now, but we actually can 100%. Hypnotist. Oh my god, there's hypnotists around? That's pretty weird. But now there are factions or other colonies that we can interact with around the planet, and that's basically the biggest and most exciting thing that has been added, because it doesn't just give us a more organized threat, saying like, hey, those raiders who are attacking us, we now know where they're from. Maybe they're those big, angry, red murderer pirate bands. Those are the guys who are after us this time, or something like that. It basically adds more story elements, for one thing, but then on top of that, it also adds additional gameplay mechanics, because we get to see how their relations with our colony is being upheld. Like, you could see, like, especially the red murderers, those guys are pissed off at us, but not as pissed off as the turtle men. These guys sound awesome. I want to be friends with the turtle men. I wonder if they're teenagers and mutated as well. A gang of bandits. Pirates don't sow, they don't build, and they rarely trade, but enrich themselves mostly by raiding and robbing the more productive groups in the area. Their technology level depends mostly on who they've managed to steal from nearby. Mostly they carry gunpowder weapons, though the luckier ones have advanced energy weapons, and some may just like to stab people at close range. Man, I wonder if knives are in the game now. Looks like all those descriptions are the same for the pirate bands, but we do also have this tribe nearby and an outlander town, so let's go ahead and check in with them. A tribe! These people have been here a very long time. Maybe their ancestors crashed here 1,000 years ago, maybe they survived some I can't tell what that word is because the text is so freaking small. Cataclysm? I think that's cataclysm, but that looks more like an R right there. I don't know. The text is so small in this game. That destroyed a technological civilization here. In any case, the tribals, most likely nomadic people, are mostly nomadic people who live off the land using primitive tools as weapons. Some tribes are more aggressive than others. Many are open to trade and alliances, even with strange peoples like yourselves. Close operation or recruitment will be very difficult because of the vast socio-technological and linguistic gap between the tribals and yourself. Despite their apparent technological weaknesses, the tribes can be dangerous enemies and valuable friends because of their skill with low-tech warfare, their numbers, and their hardiness. So basically, a tribe is going to be like a group of more like native people who will attack you with much more primitive weapons, like ones we've never seen before, like stones and stuff like that. So that'll be very, very interesting. Sucks that they're really pissed at us right now. I'm not sure how, what these level... Oh, yep, it is out of 100. That sucks. Yeah, so these guys are really pissed at us. Even the Orange Forest people are really mad. Let's go ahead and check this Outlander town, though. A small community of survivors. These people have lived here for decades. They've lost most of their technology that brought them here, and usually work with simple mechanical tools and structures, and defend themselves with advanced gunpowder-era weapons. Not inherently aggressive nor weak, they are concerned with the practical matters of trade, trust, and survival. The cool thing about that, if we do increase our, these different factions' opinions of us, then we can actually later on in the game request help from them. I'm not sure if we actually can at this point, but we might be able to contact this hypnotists community before too long. Although, they're actually an enemy of everyone else except for the Night Killers, the Turtle Men, okay, they're not enemies with the Red Force people. Nice that we could see who they're actually other enemies with. Maybe we could work with that to our advantage, to like an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation. But yeah, so that's one really cool thing that has been added, and that actually adds a lot more kind of intrigue and concern in regards to travelers that come by, because as you guys may remember, every now and then, occasionally, just a random traveler would meander around the planet, and that would always be a good thing for us, or at least almost always, because it's basically like, hey, we got ourselves a free person to try to recruit to our team or squad or whatever. But now it's not necessarily that simple. It's a lot less black and white, because whatever action you take can have positive or negative benefits for our squad. Because the positive could be, hey, you know, we got a new person in our colony, hooray! But you're going to obviously create some negative relations with one of the factions. Like, basically, it means now if you do that, you're kidnapping a friend of some civilization that's out there somewhere, and obviously they're probably going to want to get their friend back. So definitely makes things a hell of a lot more intense in that regard. And people, we need to get this frickin' geothermal generator built. I don't know why they decided to stop that randomly. So let's go ahead and start working on our nutrient paste dispenser as well. I think that this would probably be... Actually, let's go ahead and put our nutrient paste dispenser room right down there, just so we could have a little bit more space for it. The two hoppers go down, and we could go ahead and wall that off a little bit later, I think. This early on, I don't think we quite need to worry about walling off our base, but obviously that is going to be a concern before too long. Let's actually go ahead, though, and indeed actually close off this whole room. I was gonna say, might as well leave it open for the time being, but I think it would probably be much smarter to actually go ahead and close it off. Mainly so we could get a battery or two in here, and maybe even some beds to make our people happy about that. Build the geothermal generators, you frickin' slowpokes. Like, taking forever in that regard. One thing I should say, I am not sure if because of the new update to how the map generation works, I'm not sure if they actually give you a lot more resources, but it certainly feels like it. It feels like there is a ton more resources scattered around the map than there has been, at least in a very long time. So that's pretty damn cool, and obviously makes me quite happy in that regard. Because I want us to have all the resources in the game. I want us to be like the mighty men of manly resources. What that means, don't ask me. I have absolutely no idea, but it's awesome. That's all you need to know. It's pretty damn cool. So let's see, what else is there? I talked about the colony factions. I talked about the ancient ruins, the build system. That's one thing that's really cool. We won't be able to see this before too long because we'll need to build a butcher's table or any other stuff that uses the bills. And I think we're actually, as we usually do, I think we're going to wait a bit before starting to get those things set up. Although the butcher's table and the cook stove might be like even more important than they have been in the past now, because there's actually like a hunting command now. Like you can say, boom, hunt all of these animals, kill them for me, my friends, and then obviously you'll start hunting these poor guys down. This is a small detail that I really like. I forgot that this is actually a thing before. Now that I think about it, I think this actually isn't a new change, but of course, you could see like the needs that the muffalo have and all that jazz. I think that's really, really cool. Let's go ahead and cancel hunting those muffalo. Also, what is with this new plant setup? We'll have to examine that later. I didn't see a change in the plant setup in any of the videos or anything like that. Or, in any of, like I didn't see it in the main list of updates that have been added to the game, so that'll be something that'll be interesting for us to check. Sucks that these simple doors are obviously going to slow us down, but at this point it doesn't seem like our people take all that long to walk through them. The main worry I have with the simple doors is I would imagine that those might not lock for enemy raiders, and obviously if they don't, that would be a very, very serious issue for us. So let's see, we need to build that frickin' launch pad if it still exists. It might actually not be a thing anymore because I don't see it here. Interesting. If you guys know anything about the launch pad situation, please inform me, because I don't know if that has been changed. Maybe just it's going to be used as stockpile zones from now on, but or maybe we have to research it. Do we have to research a launch pad? Fear tech, carpet, gun cooling, nutrients, oh, stone cutting has to be researched now, but I don't see the launch pad there. So I don't know where the launch pad is anymore. That actually really sucks, because that's... Unless the trade... No, the trade beacon doesn't do it doesn't do it either. Very curious. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just keep on moseying along with all of this. And also, let's go ahead and get our beds moved inside. I think that'll be very, very good for our people. Make them more satisfied with their living situation, I suppose. Put those all down right there, and then we could go ahead and sell all of you. We don't need any of that jazz. I hope those muffalo aren't eating our food. Oh God, is he eating the potatoes? I think he was eating grass. It just really looked like he was eating the potatoes. Yeah, they're not eating the potatoes. Okay, that's good. So let's see, what do we want to do now? I think the research table is definitely best, so we could start getting to work on setting up our hydroponics tables and all that jazz. Let's go ahead and actually put it right back here. That means we could get like our next individual personalized room set up really damn quickly, I think, if we block this area off. And then, on top of that, of course, we'll get started on our research and all that jazz, which is, as always, very, very, very critical to begin immediately, or at least as soon as possible. At least the way I like to play, I should say that. I'm sure with the butcher's table and the cooking stove, there are so many new means, probably wasted. a little bit of metal by not placing down those door plans earlier, but that's okay. Yeah, certainly. Oh, wait. Unless I can sell those and then get that metal back? Yeah, okay. That actually just wasted time instead, which is okay. But what was I just saying? I don't know what's up with me right now, guys. I'm feeling like so freaking tired today. I'm sure. I don't know if you guys can tell at all, but like I slept for like 6 hours in the middle of the day today, and my mind just feels honestly kind of hazy right now, which is obviously very, very sucky. Let's get to work on these hydroponics. Get that set up right away. We need to concern ourselves with where we would want to build that hydroponics room then. Almost certainly right here, so we could get it as close as possible to this nutrient paste dispenser. So let's go ahead and remember that we don't have to do any of that right now. And let's actually look for another thing that has apparently been added to the game. I don't know where exactly one would find it, but I heard, pray tell, that one thing that has been added is actual, the planning tool. It would probably be in orders then? Mine, haul things. Oh, no, that's not plant. God damn, like, that shows you how tired I am right now, guys. Like, my mind is in a complete haze at the moment. This is the planning tool, though. This is a really cool thing that has been added to the game. Basically, it allows you to set out, like, a plan or a marking zone for saying, like, hey, this is where I want to create future rooms and all that jazz. Be like, okay, basically, it allows you to, in a somewhat efficient way, although in the update, Tynan said that he wanted to change it, make it a bit better. But basically, it's like a way to set out your future plans for base construction. I don't know how much we'll use it, because honestly, it's something that I feel is a little bit unnecessary for at least how I like to play the game, that's for sure. But I'm sure loads of people will be able to find really great use out of that kind of update and all that jazz. So let's see. We need a growing zone, of course, but we're working on that. We need defenses, and 2 colonists are idle at the moment. If 2 people are idle, might as well just get started on hauling stuff, mining stuff, I suppose. We could start mining out this whole bunch that we have immediately, but I think it makes more sense to go for mining this bit, because that means that'll allow us to, start working on our future base construction as early as possible, and, of course, start, Ooh, also we should haul things, get things, set up our dumping, stockpile zone, so we could get to work on getting rid of anything that's nearby. Let's actually just make it like 3 blocks that are really, really close to the bottom of the map, because that way our people won't put them like really far up high, and then whenever they need to put them towards the back, they won't have to get slowed down by walking over other rubble simply to get to it. So of course our dumping zones will be for debris only, both of them for debris only, and then we could get to work on hauling things. What do we have right here? A bartender from the hypnotist's colony is visiting the colony. No, a community is visiting the colony. She's named Carrie Jude Coffee. Okay, awesome sauce. Let's see if there's any way to interact with her. She does have a pistol, so it would be really cool to go ahead and kidnap her. And actually, she's pretty damn good, all in all. She can't do research, and she's not artistic, but we don't need either of those right now. Let's see if there's any way to actually interact with her first. It says that she is indeed visiting, but I don't know if that actually means anything for us. I believe there isn't, like, a discussion option in this game. I don't think it's like Fallout where when you meet people you just like right click on them and then you get to talk with them and all that jazz. I think they're just like coming to look at us and check out what we're doing, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean we should avoid trying to talk to them or anything. So let's go ahead and select Kessa and see if there's actually any way we could have her interact with her. Yeah, looks like we can only try to arrest her. That's okay. That's okay. I want to undraft you. My dear, sweet lady. My dear, sweet Kessa. Would would probably be nice to go ahead and try to recruit Judge, but you know, we really want to test out this whole new factions setup that we've got going on right now. So of course we're going to try to be friendly with these new people and do everything we can to, at least for the time being, have a peaceful life on this colony, you know? Because, I don't think I mentioned this, but one thing you could do once you get, like, a communications table set up is if you're being attacked by another faction or a raider tribe or anything like that, if you have a good enough relationship or you want to do some kind of trade, like a silver trade, you can actually recruit help from other colonies. And they'll actually, of course, come and try to help you through your fight, make sure that you survive. So that's a really cool update and change that has been added to this most recent version of the game. Let's go ahead and start hauling all this stuff. I don't know why I forgot to do that for now. Nice that Cussa is just like, I mean, Jude there is just like chilling right outside our house. She's like, hey guys, how's it going? Not doing anything, just here to say hello. How's it going? You guys having a fun time? Yeah, I'm having a fun time, too. I could hypnotize you. I'm from, like, a hypnotist colony. Like, we could put on a show, a magic act or something like that. You want to have fun with that? Oh, okay, she's leaving. Bye-bye, Jude. Did that increase, like, our relationship at all? Doesn't appear like it yet, but let's go ahead and double-check that once she actually disappears from this area. Nice to see that our guys are hauling all that stuff that seriously needs to get brought out of here. Now let me see, there are a couple more things. Of course I mentioned that you can actually visualize the weapons now. Like, we haven't been able to see that in any actual combat. And I don't think we're going to force a combat right now, just because I don't want to hunt any animals without any main reason to. Oh, a local squirrel has gone mad, actually. Okay, so we're gonna see that right now. Oh, Jude is fighting it. We'll be able to see Jude use her weapon then. Ah, Jude, you killed it too fast. Oh well, we see Jude holding the weapon right there. And of course, when she actually fires it, we'll be able to see her aim with it, as you saw for like a split second there, I think. A RimWorld entrepreneur from Hypnotist's colony is visiting the colony. Nice, another dude is coming by. Hello, Eric. I hope these guys aren't planning to attack me. It's kind of weird that we've got two guys with guns coming to chill with us. One of them, Jude was apparently leaving, but now she's still kind of chilling in the area. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe that encounter with that bomb rat, like, traumatized her, and she's like, I can't go back to my people anymore. I'm weak. I was attacked by a squirrel, not a boom rat. And I think I might have called it a bomb rat. Anytime I call them a bomb rat, I want you guys to, like, go ahead and slap me in the face through this, digital expanse, because they're boom rats. They go boom. I call them, basically why I've called them bomb rats a lot, if I still do, is simply because, I misread it early on, and then that name kind of stuck in my mind. Another one. What are you getting? They're all chilling here. What is up with that? They're like all coming to say hello. Oh, okay, and now Eric is leaving, probably. Whoa, what are you doing in our house, bro? At least, like, knock. Don't just walk through the front door. Oh well, hydroponics is finished. Awesome sauce. What do we want to work on next, then? Probably... What the hell is wrong with me? Probably the nutrients and resynthetics. I think that would probably be a very, very good idea for us. And let's start getting those first series of hydroponics tables set up. So of course we won't have to worry about our food supply or any of that jazz. Let's have it right up against the window. I mean the wall, actually. So we'll go ahead and cancel that one and put it right about there instead. And there'll be one gap right there. Hydroponics table stationed right at that location. I'm gonna get rid of that one for the time being, of course. I'm just putting it down now to kind of test and see how much room we need for all those doors and all that jazz. So then a simple door can be placed right about there, there, and there. And let's get those sun lamps down as well. I forgot to build a battery! We need to get a frickin' battery set up. Let's go ahead and put one right there, and probably one down there as well. That should function perfectly fine, and I think those will be built before, they're actually necessary, you know? We could probably actually get started on continuing this whole mining operation as well. Let's actually go ahead and just mine all of that out. Maybe we could go ahead and make this the comms room or something like that once we actually want to put that extra room to some use and all that jazz. Oh god, we're right at that 35-minute mark. Is there anything else? The last thing that I wrote down is that there have been some AI improvements, which is a freaking fantastic thing. I don't know if that's gonna be for the raiders as well, because I know we encountered a really funny scenario a lot with the raiders in our previous in the previous version of the game, where once they would start fleeing, they would just kind of go into panic mode and run right through our turrets. I think that was because our base was so close to the bottom of the map, so the raiders are basically saying, hey, the closest exit out of the world is down there. So despite, like, we had, like, Hell's Gate right there, they were willing to walk through it to get out that direction. So I don't know if that kind of thing has been changed. I at least, I'm pretty damn sure that's why that happened. I don't know if that kind of thing has been changed, but I know it mainly focuses on our colonists and stuff like that. Their AI has been a little bit reworked and improved in many regards, which I think is freaking awesome, because that's something that I always want to be increased in this game. The AI was good before, but definitely could use a few improvements here and there, and it's nice that we'll be able to see those at this point. So yeah, I'm really loving all the updates to the game right now. I think this is certainly the biggest update in a while. The addition of the butcher's table, cooking stove, and stonecutter's table, and everything else that came with the Alpha 2 update was a heck of a lot, but I certainly think this one is at least a little bit bigger. So we have a lot of stuff to explore and test out in our future progression of this game, which is going to be absolutely glorious. So yeah. As always, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, comment, and or subscribing if you have not. I am the EggScrambledGamer, and I will see you all next time.